Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. This is a really special time for us, and I always love to have conversations with Todd. And we're doing some really kind of cool work at the Blue Cell. But I thought it would be a great idea to bring Todd Mans, the guy who founded this organization. He's the managing partner, and just to get a little bit more in-depth conversation about what's happening at the Blue Cell and some of the changes that are going on. So, Todd, it's always great seeing you.
Good morning, Mr. DeVoe. How are you?
Doing well. You
Thank you
know,
for that introduction.
absolutely. We talked a lot about the Blue Cell and stuff going on, and I know the history that you've told me, but I think a lot of people might not know. So, what? Tell me a little bit about the history of the Blue Cell and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, so we literally started in 2009, and now that just seems like it was so long ago. And as a firm, we began somewhat where we are today in terms of our regular work, and that's doing incident command system training. That has certainly changed and evolved over time. The students have changed over time, and even the way we deliver it, of course, post COVID has also changed.
What are the key elements here of the Blue Cell? Like, what makes the Blue Cell different from everybody else?
Well, I think it's in some ways I get that question a lot. In some ways, we are very similar to other firms that are out there because we do training, exercise, and consulting. But one of our biggest, maybe it's an advantage, is that we do all three. So we may have major competitors in the training space. We may have major competitors in the exercise space, and even different competitors in the consulting space. But very few of them do we see really cross over the lines of all three. My practitioners are my instructors, and my instructors are my practitioners. And again, that also gives us a little bit of an advantage in terms of the evolution of it all. There was definitely a kind of first phase of the company that went on for a couple of years. But in 2012, we were fortunate enough to actually make a purchase of another company, a very well established company from the East Coast called Command School TTX, which really relied on the concepts of using a diorama and had done it for many, many, many decades. That particular acquisition, was a key for us because it opened the door to a number of other things that we now do and allowed us to incorporate many of the things that they had worked so hard on and really innovated from the early 90s up until present day.
Moving forward with what's going on with the Blue Cell, what are some of the innovative stuff that's coming out of the Blue Cell now?
So I would say, the biggest thing certainly is what we call TTX Vault. And the concept there, it reached back into that command school concept because one of the things, in addition to a lot of great equipment and gear and customers that we got a extensive archive of already created exercises. And so one of the things in 2017 that we did was we made the effort to create canned exercises, meeting a Homeland Security exercise and evaluation protocol and updating some of that raw data that we had into what would literally be all the components that one would need to try to put an exercise together to not only check the box, but also have it be, effective for their community. We have our own simulation site that is literally a notional or fake county. So we incorporated elements of that into this product, literally. And it's a product that we're very proud of. We don't push that product as much as we might be pushing other things. It was kind of almost a niche product for our current customers that were doing something else with us. But one of the things that we have found over a 6-year period is we've sold quite a bit of it, and we've sold it to all different disciplines all across the country. and even outside of the country, and really haven't had any complaints about that product. A lot of the times we get the feedback, wow, this was really worth the value in terms of how much time it would take me to put this together just from scratch or on my own or without a MEP or something to that effect.
So, one of the things that you and I have been discussing here over the last, well, year or so, I guess now, is the idea of franchising. Um, what do you mean by franchising, and what are the advantages of it?
Yeah, so it's an intriguing thing as a business person. Just putting on the business hat for a minute. Um, Franchising is a powerful tool that's used in many industries. In our particular industry, we really haven't found anybody that's thought to do that, but that is a process that we're in right now that is really exciting. And it's not to franchise the Blue Cell because I'm not even sure how we would actually do that. But we're starting with a specific product line, TTX Vault, and creating opportunities for select folks to come in and work with us in a very specific geographic area to be a licensee, reseller, franchisee of the TTX product line. We're kind of keeping it simple in terms of not wanting to reinvent the wheel. We're looking at 10 franchises for the United States. And if someone were to look at that map from our business, they might recognize those geographic breakdowns because they're similar to other organizations and how they've broken up the country geographically with 10 regions. We've already actually sold the international franchise, which is encompassing five other countries, all under one franchisee out of Canada. So the whole purpose of it is to really get the exposure to this product out there. And one of the things that we've done in the entire line is we've touched about 20 different industries in terms of what we have for pre-canned tabletop exercises. And it's called TTX Vault. And we do have some drills, we do have some functionals, and we have that ability to kind of expand that for a customer that wants to truly go through a step process or a building block process that's part of all the doctrine that you hear out there. But that's really the idea leading through the end of 23 and into 2024 that we're going to have an opportunity to work with folks that understand the vision, one, that are probably already in the franchising business. In terms of a true profile of who I'm looking for, I don't know that I'm looking for the retired fire chief. And it's not that I have anything against retired fire chiefs or police chiefs or anything to that nature. But the fact of the matter is, these franchises are in the six figures. And having folks that already understand the concept of franchising from a business perspective is probably our number one target for whom we're looking for to come in to be part of this new product.
Why should somebody get involved with you and the Blue Cell and the franchise process?
So, I think the stability of the company, it speaks for itself. 15 years in this company, we've seen a lot of folks come and go. I don't feel like we're going anywhere with some of the things going on in our other divisions with regard to very large, high profile customers. We're going to be around. We've actually technically, I think, figured out a lot of the nuances through our virtual training. And at this point, we're the most active virtual training company in the ICS space in the world. So I think we bring a technical proficiency, but I think most importantly, this is an opportunity to continue to get better and to help in a very important aspect of public safety service. And the recent events are probably pointing to us to the fact that we still need to work on a lot of things. We have communities that still need to work on a lot of things. And I get somewhat, agitated with the whole we're going to just do this based on what a grant says. We need to be doing this for other reasons. And those other reasons are truly preparedness. And so to get this concept in the hands of schools and hospitals and higher education and airports and oil refineries and law enforcement, fire, EMS. That's how we've broken down this extensive line of tabletop exercises that are available. We're sitting right now at about 105 individual products, and we'll be at 150 by the end of the year with an expansion of a lot of those products that we're going to make available to folks.
So this begs the question then, and I know why you're saying get involved. So, what are the benefits then of having the blue cell behind you? And I think you sort of answered that question for me, but in a elevator speech pitch, like what are the benefits of going with the blue cell compared to say starting on your own?
Well, I think it's a matter of, reputation's a piece of it, and name recognition is a really big piece of it. We actually played with doing this a couple different ways, but this is going to be a blue cell product line. And with our expansion in other areas and some of the folks that we are starting to work with, that is probably as valuable a piece of the puzzle as anything. This isn't something that I thought of yesterday. This isn't something that we stole from someone else. This is something we've evolved, not only as a business moving into our 15th year, but certainly over the last 6 years. We are very confident in how this product will be received based on the track record of whom we've already sold it to. I've got a couple of clients in the country that they just put it in their budget, and they come in and they spend five figures with us in just the TTX Vault product line. And that is a testimony that it is well priced, well positioned, and well received by big and small agencies. I think it's somewhat interesting how that kind of works. We can support that product also, not just from a technical perspective, but as a full service firm, we do have some customers that will purchase the product from us. They'll work on it themselves, have us come in and do the facilitation.
Hmm.
They'll purchase the product from us. They'll facilitate it themselves. They want us to come in and help with the after action review process. They'll purchase the product themselves, want to conduct the training, have us virtually support the exercise that they're going to put on to give them just a leg up on really getting ahead in that exercise process. So the full service firm and the longevity is a big piece of it, and a tried and true product that we just didn't, as I said, come up with it last week. It's something that we've really put the time into, and the effort and the investment to make a very strong product concept.
So, what are the prospects for the blue cell, and then what are some of the future projects you're working on?
So I think there's I always have a few in my mind, and we've got some very strong uh, partner relationships with other firms, and specifically in the area of the incident management software world. I would absolutely like to see us expand TTX Vault and some of the things that we're doing into that space. We're going to make our Chelsea County USA Notional website part of these product purchases, so it has a subscription element to it. And so past that singular purchase, I see subscription as a a future area that we're going to delve into, whether that be on long-term contracting or just on some type of regularly um, scheduled and identified way that folks stay involved with the firm and the things that are coming in the future. I think that's the way to go. I think it lends us to pre-planning very well. It also lends us to staying into preparedness. And then you can play the grant game if that's what you're having to do on a little bit different level per se, because you are have an understanding that I got to really look at where my money is going to go, and then I can do those investment justifications and work through the bureaucracy of your state and the bureaucracy of the federal government, and still have a program that is actually a program. I see a lot of activity. I don't see a ton of achievement, and I don't see any really programmatic approaches to a lot of this.
Right.
So this becomes a foundational piece to that, I think, moving into the future. And that's something that I think we all are now getting a little bit more accustomed to. The bigger firms or the bigger agencies are out there moving in that direction, and I think we're going to move in that direction too.
So, kind of just wrapping up here, what's the one thing or maybe two things you'd say to somebody who's interested in learning more about this franchise opportunity?
Well, I would say get in and get early because there's only going to be 10 of them. And I think with some prospects I'm already talking to, as of this taping, there may only be 8 left. Um, I think the other thing is that if you truly are excited about an idea like this, just give us a call, and I walk you through that process with my team individually, and we absolutely will try to fit the need of that geographic area of the country. And the franchises are designed in such a way that the pricing of them ac- actually does mirror that. So in the less populated regions of the country, that franchise price is lower than, like, for example, where you are out on the West Coast, where you've got counties. One in particular comes to mind that has a larger population than all of FEMA Region 8. Well, we can't price those exactly the same because the opportunity is not the same. There's just not as much opportunity. Um, so it's a unique, I think, approach, and I think we've figured out a lot of the details through trial and error, conversation, working with our current master franchise holder outside of the U.S. And the one thing would be to let us know if you're interested, and we'll share what we can with you and move from there.
Absolutely. Hey, Todd, thank you so much for spending time with me this morning, and I'm looking forward to seeing people get involved with the Blue Cell and really grow that family and the ability to share and prepare the nation when it comes to emergency preparedness and emergency management. Thank you so much, Todd.
All right. Thank you. I sure appreciate it. Talk to you soon.